in the Catholic Church. So All Saints Day today, All Souls Day tomorrow, saints, sort of the holy people, I guess, and souls and everybody else. And Dia de los Muertos, it's a Day of the Dead. Sometimes you include both these days. There was a philosopher named René Girard who said that nowadays no one is interested in becoming a saint. Everyone, however, wants to lose weight. So it's kind of nobody really kind of strives for that. A lot of times people will be critical, say, of the Catholic Church and say, "Gosh, do you worship saints? Do you pray to the saints?" I don't, and I don't. Saints are just people who point you in the right direction. So if you want to know how to live the gospel, St. Francis of Assisi. If you want to know how to find God in all things, St. Ignatius of Loyola. If you want to know how are we to struggle for justice, Martin Luther King, Cesar Chavez. If you want to know how to accompany and live and share your life with the poor, Dorothy Day. These are all people who point you in the right direction. That's all a saint does. That's what we could do here. I've watched it in all of you, where you put your arm around somebody and you say, "Hey, here at Homeboy Industries, we don't play that." Well, you're pointing somebody in the right direction. That's all a saint does, is point somebody in the right direction. The press always asks me, who are your heroes and who are your saints? They're always the same people. They're you and all the people I just mentioned. I always mention Pedro Arrupe, because he was the Superior General of the Society of Jesus when I entered the Jesuits in 1972. He was the general, our leader, from 64 to like 84. He's in Rome, so you never saw much of him, but you'd always read about him, and I would read everything he wrote. And kindly, generous, gentle soul. He was in Hiroshima when we dropped the bomb, and he ministered to those people there. Just a saint, a man dedicated to prayer and putting first things first. I met him in 1976 when he was speaking in Philadelphia, and I was a community organizer in the Bronx. And so myself and another Jesuit, we drove all the way from New York to Philadelphia, and we were plied with coffee and trying to stay awake. And we got there just in time for the talk in a big theater at a high school just for Jesuits. And so when we got there, I said, I need to find a restroom, pero de volada. And so I asked somebody, they said, well, go in the basement. And so I go in the basement, it's very dark, and I go, where the hell is it? Suddenly I see at the end of this hall, a lone light bulb, and a man standing under the light bulb was Pedro Arrupe. A little tiny Basque, gentle soul, just angelic, and he's bathed in this light, and he sees me and he goes like this, like we're long lost friends, and he beckons me to come towards him, and he's just an old man, and I just can't believe that I'm seeing this guy who's a hero and a saint, and he grabs my hands in his, and he looks me in the eyes, and you know you're in the presence of somebody who knows your heart and reads your soul, and he looks at me and he says, bathroom? Right over there. And that was it, And saints just point you in the right direction. And it's no big deal, except if you're lost and you're wandering and you need to get somewhere and you don't know how to get there, pointing somebody in the right direction is huge. You do this already every day. People look at you and see you show up here, see you working with enemies, see you loving the community that this place provides. You are pointing people in the right direction just by showing up. But every day here you get a chance to help people. We all get lost, we all wander, we don't know where to go. Just point them in the right direction and choose to become a saint on this day of all saints. And one last thing, this is my favorite quote from Pedro Arrupe, and I'll end with this. Nothing is more practical than finding God, that is, than falling in love in a quite absolute final way. What you are in love with, what seizes your imagination, will affect everything. It will decide what will get you out of bed in the morning, what you will do with your evenings, how you spend your weekend, what you read, what you know, what breaks your heart, and what amazes you with joy and gratitude. fall in love, stay in love, and it will decide